Good day to viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from the Preceptory of British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. And what load of old tat have we got today? We got a bloody chromogram! MP22! Bloody greatest machine ever made in the world, according to one person anyway. And why am I demonstrating it to you? Well, this was bought recently by the Squire, who has lent it to me. And there we are. It cost him 99p off of eBay. There we are, nothing wrong with that. It's got the right grill in it, unlike the dear chaps. It's got a chevron grill, which is not genuine. But there we are, the chromogram, micro perophone. Wonderful thing. Invented, well, like a lot of these machines, it's named after, sort of takes the name of its inventor. You know, Cliftophones are named after Mr. Clifton, EMG after Mr. Ginn, and chromograms are after an Irish chap who invented them. Chromoch O Gram. Yeah. So there we are. And they're quite unusual in that they have a very odd horn. The horn goes down there and down inside, of course, but it doesn't have sides. It has sort of resonance chambers on either side. Ideal for woodworm, unfortunately. But as I say, 99p. There's the original tone arm. It should have a counterweight. I've got the original sound box with it, but the Squire's rebuilding it, needed a new diaphragm. But it's only some cheap Swiss job. And everything else is genuine. It came with a sort of crummy old electric motor had been fitted, but the original motor was in the bottom of the case, wrapped up in sort of greaseproof paper, which was handy. And so I fitted it. And it's a double spring motor. I think it's Garrard Junior. It's not a huge motor, but it is double sprung. Let's play a record. This one's Columbia D19249, Comedy Exitement by Zamecnik, played by the Orchestre Somphonique du Lutetia Wagram. Dear chap. Here we go. They're using a Meltrope soundbox, so there we go. Well, there we are, viewers. That was jolly good, wasn't it? Let's play another record. Let's have a look. What shall we play? That one looks like a good one. Yes, that one will do. Oh yes, The Merry Peasant. It's Columbia DB1059, somewhere Michael McKeehan. It was a little bit more steam into the motor. Dear old chromogram. It's very dusty, as you see. It's just as it came in. But most at the outside, apart from the lid needing a few scratches touching, it doesn't need much doing at all. Here we go.
Human had a hunch about the lad and wrote a tune, a simple tune, but not too bad. A peasant he, a merry peasant he, and I should say that in this peasant's day, the peasantry had every reason to be gay. Were Schumann's youth alive today forsooth, think you that he would still contrive to be that very pleasant, merry peasant? No, not he. What if this lad had been upset by details of a national debt? What if he'd had to pay out stacks of sterling to the income tax? Would he have laughed in merry peals if he'd had a daughter at his heels? Would he have caroled like a lark when looking for a place to park? HMS. No dues, no rates to leave him flat. No licenses for this and that. No high-speed motor cars to dodge. No trouble with his local lodge. No spectre of the door to haunt this simple soul. This lad full many reasons had for laughing and chaffing, oh, and being so glad. Yes, yes, this lad full many reasons had for laughing and chaffing, oh, and being so glad.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, was there, viewers? That was fantastic. Should we risk a third record? Let's have a look and see what we've got here. Anything terribly exciting? Ah, yes, dear chap. Sounds like the springs need a good clean. Oh, blast. That's not what I was... No. Sorry about this, viewers. Normal service will be resumed as... you'll soon appreciate what we got here. Oh, some Boccherini on an early Columbia. This is A2186. Yes, I like Boccherini. String Quintet number 11 in E, as used in the Lady Killers. Right, here we go again. Wonderful stuff. That's good to be able to play an acoustic record on a machine like this. I think they were produced around 1928, dear chap, by Chromoch O Gram, the inventor. They didn't last very long. I think 1930-31 they were finished. But there we are. They did do bigger models, but this is the most popular one, the Chromogram. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.